overall, the energy right now is in a it's in a new alignment. It's already made its way into the new alignment. So many of you in this world this group, this space of understanding, you understand the concept of the spiritual awakening, a great shift, a new earth, all these terms, right? Second coming. So the initial space of that energy is already implemented. The initial space of the shift, of the second coming, of the new earth is already implemented. Because for a lot of us that have been in this space of understanding, we've been hearing for a long time, it will happen, it will happen, it will come. But my understanding, mine, doesn't have to be yours, is that it's already come and it's already anchored. Balance began to come in. This is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I don't care. Balance began to come in, not came in, began in 2019. In 2019, I kept hearing, and I didn't understand then, but now I understand so much better. I kept hearing in my being, the light is here. The light is here in 2019. I had no idea what was going to happen in 2020. None of us did, right? And I had so much happening in my own personal self-expansion, self-awakening, spiritual walk. My entire life was changing. My entire life. Like, I still have my husband of 30 some years. I still have my beautiful children, great relationships. I still have many of my family members, but a lot of connections with friends and family shifted and changed. My job, I got out of a job that I'd done for 17 years. It was a good job. It paid the bills, but I didn't love it. It wasn't my heart. I got out of that in 2017, but it was preparing me to be where I needed to be in 2019 when all this started going down. All this started happening. And I lost, or I chose to heal and clear the fear that was keeping me from allowing this from happening in my own life. And I just started walking in a totally different way of being. And my entire life changed and opened up. And I met all of you beautiful people, and then some. And I met beautiful beings of light. And I had communications with my father, who I lost when he passed away out of physical form when I was 23. And I hadn't really felt his presence, or, like I'd have a dream or something, right? But I started being able to pick up on him and read his energy and feel his presence and even receive some communications. I was in an entirely different space of vibrational existence, if you will. And that was in 2019. I kept hearing the light is here. So when 2020 came, there was so much going on in what we see as the regular world, right? The outer world, the everyday life. But really, we're being asked, I'll tell you this all the time, do not separate the two, really. Own them all as your quantum higher self. Own them all as your wholeness, your eternal being. Don't be different when you're in your everyday life. Be your power in all your nows. So I go into 2020, and I've been hearing the light is here, the light is here. And then I start having really massive experiential spaces with that light and light beings. And I start understanding there is so much more to me and to humans and to Earth and to all of this. And some of this is in my book. So some of you are very familiar with some of the stories. I did have to walk through fear, meaning I had old belief structures. And this is important for what we're talking about your flow rate and how to optimize your flow rate and with the energies that are happening right now. There's really big clearings coming out of the solar plexus and the liver. So we're still healing a lot of addictive spaces, alcoholism and drugs and sex traumas in the lower centers of the body. And it's clearing, it's healing right now. So many of you are doing this for yourselves or for your family lines. Just breathe as you're listening to the space, please. If you need to lay down, please. All right. So I had to allow myself to face my fears, because if I didn't face my fears that were embedded in my belief structures, and you can have a fear of the dark, you can have a fear of evil spirits, you can have a fear of conservatives, you can have a fear of liberals, you can have a fear of gays, you can have a fear of men, you can have a fear of suppression, you can have a fear of war. There's a lot of things you can have a fear about. And any space of fear is fear. Any space of fear is fear. So we're given the opportunity as we awaken to move through our fears, because you cannot awaken and shift into a new alignment of yourself if you hold those fears. Those fears are the alignment of the space you're in. So as long as you have those fears, you have that alignment. You experience those experiences. There's no getting around it. It's you and your divine sovereign ability as a being of light. So as you awaken, you go like this. Oh my goodness, I think I might be more than what I thought I was, or what I think I am. And you start pondering who you are and what you are and why you do what you do and why you say what you say and why you feel what you feel and why so-and-so who's close to you, your husband or your lover or your partner or your mother or whoever they are. You start really picking up on all these things. And that's you showing you the belief structures, the interpretations and perceptions you hold that align you to what you're seeing. So everything you're seeing and everything you're experiencing is you giving you the understanding of you. And you say, oh, no. I'm understanding that he's a jerk or she's a But yes, your makeup, your perception and interpretation of the jerk or whatever is coming from a belief you hold. And they might be backing that belief up by their actions, absolutely. But your belief, as long as it is what it is, there will never be a different reflection. It's impossible because it's all energetic alignment. So I had to walk through fears for my personal journey, my space of what I was afraid of, if I wanted to continue to expand. And you can take breaks and you can gauge it, because some of this work is really, really deep and highly intensive. But it's never, ever meant to be long, drawn out cycle. That's never intended that way. That's a program that does bring that type of experience, but you can do this work very, very quickly, very, very fast, as long as you are showing up and allowing, which everyone here is doing that. This is how you do it. You show up and you allow. You allow yourself to receive the understandings, to process the understandings, and then you choose if you implement them. All right? And there's so much clearing going on right now, Holy One. My entire solar plexus is just clamped over. So you're clearing really, really big. Just breathe. Sorry. Just allow the space, please, and breathe. There's a lot of fear being released. A lot of fear. You're done. You're done with fear. You're done with the games. You're done with the understandings being misplaced into spaces of lower alignments of you. You're done. You've unshackled yourself. You're free, and you are flying upward into the next space of your being. Just allow, please. Just breathe. Whew. So as you move through the fears, meaning you just don't react to them or respond to them the way you did the last time. So whatever the fear is, whatever the space is, when you feel the fear, or when you feel yourself coming into the space of wanting to respond or react, maybe the way you always have your whole life, for whatever space you're talking about, it could be multiple spaces. If you change your mindset, I just did a video about this. It's an older video that I did on Patreon about 7 months ago or so. It's on YouTube right now. If you change your mindset, then you change the direction of your response, your reaction, then you change the space of the energy flow, which is your flow rate, the way you are being you. So what you are experiencing, you have the power. No one else has your power but you. Even when you feel like you don't have your power, that you feel someone took your power or someone holds your power, you still have the power to take your power back. We'll do a little exercise at the end of class. If you walk through the fears, then when you are registering your life is going to feel, look, be entirely different. Because those fears you used to register from, you walk through them. And it's, people say, well, do I need to know when it happened and where it happened and how it happened and why it happened? And then do I need to do things to heal myself? And I've talked at length about this. Always nurture and care for the body, help it catch up, even after you figure out how you need to walk through a fear and a space you need to let go of. But I'm going to tell you that the energies in the now are moving quicker than they ever have. And we are actually, there have been timelines collapsing that we will never see. There have been merging of timelines that have shifted realities that we didn't even see coming because of the growth, because of the expansiveness of humanity. The rate and flow of, these aren't perfect words, the rate and flow of higher energy is so strong right now. When I heard the light is here in 2019, it was not this strong. It was coming in and people were not awake yet. The masses, there were many that were, but the masses were not awake yet. So the light came in. I said, the light is here, the light is here. I kept hearing that to bring in balance, because there was so much dark and so little light that the masses were in the dark. They couldn't feel, see, wake up. So the light came in 2019, and then there's balance set. The balance set was all throughout 2020. It was a war. It was, if you will, you know me, I don't like these darker words, but it's a word the brain hears and understands quickly. It was a battle, a war of energy, if you will, on the most energetic quantum scale way in which I could convey this. So I'm not talking about physical war, I'm talking about spiritual energy, which are the same thing. Science and spirit, they're all interconnected. You can't separate them. They actually confirm one another. So 2020 was the war space, right? And I don't want to take this into a space of who did what, as in what was playing out on the planet. But I will say this, the power of human consciousness is beyond what we, even in the spaces of people who study awakening and enlightenment and the power of your thoughts and the power to direct and create your world. The power of human consciousness is even beyond that. It's beyond what we think we know. What we are in our being is beyond our comprehension still, as in powerful. And if humanity had moved into a space of itself in 2019, because the balance was being brought in by itself, by higher spaces of ourselves, because that balance was being brought in, the wake up was coming. And in many ways, what played out in 2020 was a tool or a mechanism that was able to be utilized, if you will, for of benefit for people to have the space to wake up, if you will. It's almost like, somebody changes everything and you go, wait, what? And that wait, what moment, you don't go back to the thought you had before. The wait, what moment, you come out the other side of that thought and everything is looking different.